because they just don't understand or they don't know, or some cases they lack empathy. That they start to be very against anything that is help folks, unfortunately. So it's a lot of times they don't understand it, and because people fear what they don't understand, that's kind of how we find ourselves, with the relationship that we have with the community. So, and it's tough because I spent a lot of my job trying to educate people and just trying to help them understand.
Yeah, they're not going to understand it until they're in a position to me, until they're actually, I don't know. But anyways.
Sorry, you came late, but we've been jumping around on different topics. We started with introductions, try to get a sense of what our favorite song was to sing when no one's looking. I don't know. And then we're also just talking about kind of what are some concerns out there, in terms of loaves and fishes, what's going well, what's not working very well. Any kind of feedback is helpful to us because then I can take that myself, and depending on if it's something for a program or if it's something for outside what I'm trying to get out there and advocate for folks. So it's just helpful to hear. So and then I can see what change we can make.
I have a suggestion for. Sometimes I see that there's not enough avenues for people to address their concerns with one another. Like when two people might get into an argument about an understandable subject, there isn't a. I was wondering, maybe there could be a new. Like you can have a group or something for those two people to go to to discuss it later. A lot of people get angry because you drop something on the ground and then it makes someone mad because they can't replace it, and then they start speaking to each other, but then the subject is just cut off instead of validating their needs, what the problem is and fixing it. But I know that happens a lot when people get mad, and then it goes from one thing to another where nobody's issues are resolved. But some kind of maybe problem-solving group or something where, like, I have a problem with Betty, so me and Betty could write her name on some list, so then, and maybe every week or something, they can go and address, this is the problem I had, instead of speaking loud, and people could think of maybe, instead of having an argument, let's wait and write our name on the list to meet at this meeting thing, maybe. So I noticed that happens a lot. A lot of people get angry about something, and then they have no voice because you just have to leave or be quiet. But the issue is not really resolved at all. And then it just carries out to, they bring up subjects happen later on where there's been like violence in the communities around the corners and everywhere. And it seems like maybe it could be something that ultimately could eliminate violence and people, like you were saying, carrying knives and stuff like that, could go down if there's a voice for whatever, because everybody has an issue whenever they're mad about something, what the issue is.
Yeah.
That's what I suggest, like some kind of mediating group or something like that. Maybe could help.
So what I think I hear you saying is that there are problems that escalate in the park, that go outside of the park after the park is closed. And if we could have some kind of conflict resolution in the park, that it wouldn't go outside the park.
Yes, something like that. It's a safe environment. Everyone knows we can talk about this and then brainstorm for a solution or something like that.
I think that's great. That's definitely a good comment. The only thing is, like, say, for instance, with me and Betty, because Betty wanted to talk. That's always, maybe one person would like that, but the other person is just, indifferent. Like, they don't care. And that's just the biggest part. I like what you're talking about.
Like, for example, if you hear Betty, me and Betty are arguing, you dropped my pen, and then we start arguing, and then whoever's around said, okay, you guys have to leave. Maybe an option when it gets to the point where you have to leave is, you guys can, if you want to continue this, you can write your name on the conflict list, talk about it later. Maybe it could be a new option to choose from, and make everyone stop right away and decide to write their name on the list and talk about it later. And then everyone will still have the free opportunity to decide whether they want to participate in later, and it could still be a positive outcome in general. Something like that.
So,
I just want to comment, homelessness is really tough. It can be tough on your self-esteem, self-worth, and stuff. And oftentimes people, go and try to deal with stuff with alcohol and everything and stuff. I know I've dealt with stuff like that, and I don't know they come away and get out of that. So I'm glad that they do have meetings for people that try to address their addictions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I recently found out, like, guest house. If you guys don't know about guest house down the street, area off Richards, yeah, and they have, there's people that don't know.
Yeah.
There's actually resources for help. Counselor there to talk to. Even here, they have Genesis skills.
Yep.
If you need to talk to someone about the situation.
I've attended side by side and just learned a couple of things and calmed down about a few things myself. I'll tell you what, it helps a little bit just to go to that. I'm glad that's available for us. I don't attend it every day, but I do on certain days. Or if I have something like really burdening me or something, I can go over there and talk about it. I've gotten help with that too. It does not. Sometimes it's easier if it comes from somebody else, or somebody else helps you on the street instead of a doctor, because a doctor doesn't always know the circumstances, and the doctor knows book wise, out of the book. And somebody from the street knows exactly what you're feeling to help you in a different sense. So thank you for having time.
Well, I have another suggestion. I noticed that some people, since there's a fact that a lot of people get items for free around here, and they give and receive things for free. So some people don't understand the importance of someone's personal items. Like sometimes people like to give away things, and then there's when something is missing, like a cell phone is missing, many people aren't taking it seriously. And I was wondering if there could be maybe some kind of a safer location to leave belongings when we come in and out, maybe, or like say like you have a parking space for your car. If it could be a serious area, like it's designated for each person's property, or maybe a locker or something that's a normal thing, so that when something comes up missing, it's less of a process of elimination for someone to be able to diligently look for it. I know there's signs that say that you have to take responsibility for your own valuable things, but then also some of the ones that like to take things that don't belong to them. Some people like to do it and just be, as long as it's not loud, like I was explaining about when someone is arguing loudly and then they have to stop. Some people have learned how to just be quiet and take things. And there's usually nothing the person can do that is that when they're trying to steal something, or misunderstandings. And I'm just wondering maybe if there's some new element that can make people feel safer when they have to come. Like some people come to the agencies to when they're moving or something to find some resource, and it can be like a scary process to think that, oh no, I just lost all my stuff in a house or an apartment, but then someone can rob me also. But maybe I don't know, but something that's like a area that that no one will do anything until you go back and get it, or some kind of a check-in system or color code system or something like that, maybe.
Right now we have a few different kinds of options. Unfortunately, there's not enough. Because we have the lockers that can be rented. There's the day storage as well, and then there's also where folks can just kind of roll up and just leave their carts and stuff temporarily. Unfortunately, we see probably about 1,000 people a day, and I think eventually we're going to try and build out some additional storage for folks. It's hard. It costs money to do it, and all that. But there's certainly a need there. Yeah, there's space there too. So it's something that I'm looking at.
I know the concern is that when I was talking about the violence issue, that's tied into the violence when people walk around with knives and stuff. Sometimes instead of violence, they're threatening, I'm going to steal this, I'm going to take that. And then it also leaves people later on that go out and then they finish stealing or do a violent thing. So it's just in general, kids still help eliminate violence in general. One of the issues why people choose to do put their hands on someone or those kinds of things. I've heard those things a lot. I'm going to take your thing. If someone's doing an argument or something, and someone says be quiet at the time, and they didn't get their issue resolved, then they say I'm going to take that thing, I'm going to steal it, and then sometimes they usually get away, really do it, and then do worse outside. Because I remember several years ago, there's this Asian man that was found stabbed to death out just around the corner from Moses Fishes it was a weekend, early in the morning, and those kind of things. That really can be eliminated if any little thing that I don't know. It's just one of those things that I think could be addressed in general.
Cecil, did you have anything?
Nah, but the only thing I'd come up with that might help some of us is have some job fairs come around here where it makes it easier for us to get to them.
Okay.
They have them other places, but most of us don't have transportation to get there.
Yeah.
And before they actually come around here, let them know that they're going to be dealing with homeless people that's trying to get their little stuff, get a job.
Yeah.
Trying to get their little stuff back on their feet to get a job, to get away from all this. But, job fairs in Roseville help them get there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they're going to be dealing with people with the beards and, nothing. It's kind of, you can get a little bit clean cut or whatnot, but, and
I appreciate the services that are here. Like the man and stuff, and I have the responsibility to try to do that, get the hell out of the situation. But meanwhile, while I'm here, I don't see how, without those officials to begin with, it's just amazing to have. And I think that I can speak for a lot of people. We appreciate the help. We should figure out to do what we can to get out of this situation. It doesn't define me like being homeless. It's like I try to see it as that's the place that I'm at in life right now. It's like the station that I'm at. It's not homelessness is tough. It really is. Who the hell wants to like clothing, like the necessities of a person is clothing and stuff. No, you can get clothes at that. Food,